As you've heard of Pokemon 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Today, we are back into the action of catching and evolving more Pokemon to fill out our Pokedex. Later on, we'll of course be going back to school. We finished our midterms last episode, but this time around, we'll probably finish off the remainder of the courses. The first thing I wanna do in today's episode though, is going to be catching EVs. That's been a big thing I've been meaning to focus on. We have found some evolutions, but I've never been able to catch a base form of EV. So to do that, what we wanna do, if we can figure out where the map is, here it is. I think we originally found some way earlier on in our adventure. It was right around here in Area 1, the Cortando Gym. And I think it was right around this way. So we're gonna fly over this way and try to find some EVs so that we can evolution some of them. While we have some of them, I wanna get all of the evolutions in today's episode. That's the big focus, so gotta get that done. Okay, so here we are at South Province Area 2, and I'm pretty sure this is the general area where we can find an EV. And look, here's one right here. So if I just throw out a Pokeball, we're to sneak up on you and try to just throw a quick ball and get you. All right, Eevee's called off guard, so this is an excellent opportunity for us. Instead of this one, of course, we want a quick ball right over this way. So let's go for it. If I can catch not only this Eevee, but a few more after, we'll be looking around so I can get a few more, but of course they broke free. A level 11 Eevee. Couldn't get caught by the quick ball. A little ridiculous, but we're just gonna keep moving. What about this one, huh? Nope, they're gonna jump out very stubborn. And of course, my Pokemon are way too high of a level to really do too much here. Only taking 1 HP of damage, though. I think that's where we can go with a Nest Ball, is it? The lower level of the wild Pokemon, the easier it is to catch. So let's see if this makes a difference. Can we catch Eevee this way? It's shaking. Better than the quick ball, and there it is. With the Nest Ball, we're able to catch our first Eevee. So that should be a Pokedex entry. All right, excellent start with everything. Let's see for ourselves now. Right over here, number 179, Eevee has been registered that the evolution Pokemon is a normal type. Its genetic code is irregular. It may mutate if it is exposed to radiation from element stones. So no nickname for this Eevee. We could keep this one in space form. I think that there's 2 or 3, I think 3 evolutions we're out to get in today's episode. So we need to catch a minimum of 2 more Eevees. So yeah, let's get to it. We can see a couple of them there, but very fortunate that we sort of ran up on one straight away. And now we have to sort of continue with that. Look around for some more of them. There's plenty of other Pokemon around here too, but most of which we already have. So not too interested in that. All right, well, I've been traveling around. I did find a trainer out here. I cannot imagine they're gonna have very high level Pokemon. But whenever we see a trainer, I try my best to take them on. I hope you're getting enough to eat. Oh, I'm glad you care. You're challenged by Angelina's? Yeah, the cook. Cook's an Combi. All right then, so let's see what we can do here. It's a little combi. I don't think it's gonna be a very high level, only level 11. So we're just gonna do Discharge. It's super effective, might as well. I definitely need to revive my Pokemon though a little bit because Palmot here does not have very many move points left. Smoliv, once again, we're just gonna keep with what we have. Actually, no, I could switch to some others. You know, just because. We could try Arcanine here, should be good enough. I don't think I really need to level up any more of these Pokemon, though some of these I definitely need to switch out. But right now my focus is purely on Eevee. There's not too many Pokemon I'm trying to level up at the moment. Mostly just trying to find some new Pokemon and then use evolution stones on them. There's a lot to do. The size difference here is pretty crazy between Arcanine and Smoliv. We're gonna use Flame Wheel to finish you off, and that should also finish this fight. There we go, super effective hit. Sorry, Angelina's. But that's gonna be a battle one for us. Defeated Angelina's to cook. Good, you seem well. Well, thank you very much. We get over 1,000 in prize money. I can talk to you again, and when you need a bite, have a sandwich. You ought to stack up on ingredients so you can make one anytime. Definitely will, but in the meantime, we got an Asper Berry there, and I'm back on the hunt for more Eevees. Okay, so one thing I wanted to try to do, because I'm not really having the best of luck finding any more Eevees, but that's where sandwich making can actually be really useful. So I'm at a picnic out right now. If we make a sandwich, what we can do is, there's different sandwiches here. I need to find out how to get the different recipes, because I know that we unlock more just by like progressing through the game, but I only see these ones here. So like, do I have to go in like creative mode to get them? I'm not really sure, but I do wanna make a sandwich. I do need to back out. We're gonna be making just a ham sandwich because with the ham sandwich, there's something, as you can see on the male powers, encounter power is normal. So what that should do is allow me to find more normal Pokemon. There's also a great ham sandwich from what I could see. If I pulled that up, for that I would need all these same ingredients, I think, but then prosciutto or something. So let's see if I can't maybe make that in creative mode. Do I have everything? I have prosciutto, I have pickle, right? Is this, yeah, okay, this is not by alphabetical order. And then I would need, what is it? Ham, mayonnaise, which I don't think I have mayonnaise. Oh, that's the one thing I'm missing. Okay, so have to find that at some point. But for right now, maybe just the normal ham sandwich would be enough if I have all the materials for that one. I might not though. No, it says that I have it. That's weird, maybe I just missed it. Maybe that's not showing up because it's a topping, so mayonnaise and mustard. So let's just try this in. So what I would have to do, like I said, it would be prosciutto, and then pickle, and then ham. Next, here we go, mayonnaise and mustard. Next, I guess whatever pick we want. Let's see if this works. Do I get to place it myself, right? Okay, here we go. So, of course you gotta start with the prosciutto first and then like layer in the pickles after, right? I don't know if this actually matters for the recipe. I really, really hope it doesn't. But in my research, the sandwich stuff, these mechanics for Pokemon games always go straight over my head. I'd rather be out there playing, catching the Pokemon, evolving, going into battles and making sandwiches, but you know, that's just part of the game. Okay, let's put the bread on top. There we go. We'll put the pick straight in the center. There we go. All right then, so we're good. All done with our sandwich. Hopefully this gives us the result we're looking for. It should give us, unless I did this wrong, but I think it should give us encounter power normal. I guess we'll see, unless I did the wrong one, but I guess we'll see soon enough. Let's see, will this give me what I'm looking for, or maybe it'll give me something different? Let's see. Got all of our Pokemon here. Ooh, did we like it? That didn't look like a happy face, but no, we did. All right. Great ham sandwich. It was a 3-star great ham sandwich. I just hope that that had the thing I was looking for. It didn't. It had encounter okay, so that's where I made a mistake. I saw that the ham sandwich had encounter power normal, so I figured that the great ham sandwich would be the same, just more. It doesn't work that way. So I'm now instead just finding flying type Pokemon. Right now, if I go out here, I'm guessing I'd have to pack up and go first. But once I do, can I please, I'm all done picnicking. That was fun, guys. I don't know if I have another sandwich. Will it undo the current one? I'm seeing some flying Pokemon. It doesn't mean that we only see flying Pokemon, but I think it's supposed to mean we see it more often. I'm just trying to find more EVs. I'm not really big into the whole sandwich business, but it feels sort of required. So what I feel like is happening here is that I call it the one EV in this area. I feel like it only really spawns around here because we've seen one before, right? Once it does, I feel like there must be some kind of like cooldown that happens where it just doesn't spawn in again. So while we're waiting for that to happen, maybe I should run off and do some of the other Pokemon I need to evolve and stuff. And for right now, because of that, we can also evolve our current EV that we just got. Let's make sure these Pokemon don't attack us. But you know, we have 3 evolutions we're trying to get right now that we don't have: Espeon, Umbreon, and Glaceon. And they all, of course, require their certain stones. So if I go into my bag, well, actually, I guess I should go into my boxes first and get one of these Pokemon out of here so that I can replace it with Eevee. So I go over to our farthest back box, I suppose, that has Pokemon. We have Eevee right here. So I just want to move, and we'll move that over Florges. I don't think we need Florges in here anymore. I don't think we need any of these Pokemon in here anymore. So we'll be figuring that kind of stuff out soon. But we go back into our bag. We go to our evolution stones. And I might have to sort it by type. And let's see what we can find here. There should be somewhere with all the evolution stones, right? Okay, so let's say we wanna do Espeon. I think that's gonna require what? The Moonstone? Let me make sure. So unfortunately, I'd actually gotten a bit mixed up with Espeon and Umbreon. To be able to get those to evolve, we need them to have happiness level of a certain amount during a certain time of day. So those are gonna be a lot more long-term. I don't know if we're gonna get those done in today's episode, but we can at least get Glaceon if we can find the Ice Stone, which I don't know if we currently have. What is it called? It is the, oh no, actually, yeah, the Ice Stone. I don't know if I have that one. It doesn't look like I do. So we could at least set out to find a couple of things in today's episode. I feel like it's all blown up in my face the way I wanted to do this, but we'll figure something out for sure. So I guess for right now, we can look out for the ice stone, see if we can't find that. Then there's a couple of other items I'm also gonna be on the lookout for. So apparently there's an ice stone that we can find here in the Glaciado Mountains, I believe it is. If we can fly here, jump down that way. So hopefully that works out. Because we found that one Eevee and that's it. So hopefully we can at least evolve that into a Glaceon. The others will have to get more Eevees and level up their friendship level, but seeing how the game just doesn't want to cough up any more Eevees, can't really control that too much. But we'll start working on leveling up some other Pokemon too, soon enough. But I think for right now, we just need to fly over this way. Have I ever read this sign? I don't know if I have, because usually if we get a wonder, oh, and there's also a little thing here, but let's grab that. Glaciator's Grass, one of the 10 sites of Paldea. This is cool to get because usually whenever we find a site of Paldea, it becomes a teleport spot. I don't know if that'll be the case this time, but let's take a look around. Of course, we wanna still try to find some new Pokemon if we can. Sneasler is another one that we need to evolve. There we go, we get Metronome. Am I still headed where I'm supposed to be? I don't know if the marker got knocked off, but somewhere down here, I believe. Yeah, into the cave itself, there should be a ice stone that we need. So we'll be looking for that. Just plop down this way. And I think somewhere up and around here. Actually, I think it's this way. So we'll just keep looking around. Oh yeah, it might be, I might have actually passed it. Oh yeah, no trouble. I didn't even see these little guys. I don't want to fight them. All right, let's run. Oh, there's so many of them too. Plenty of little guys around here. So let's see. Hopefully it's not one I've already grabbed, because if that's the case, that might be a problem. There's a revive. So I guess it'd be up here. Ooh, I think this is it, right here. So let's see, let's grab this and boom, we got an ice stone, a peculiar stone that can make certain types of Pokemon evolve. So we're gonna get to that straight away so we can at least get some kind of extra Pokemon or Pokedex progress in today's episode. So I wanna go, not here, oh my gosh. Here, go to our bag and go all the way down until we have our ice stone. Just use that on our Eevee straight away. So ice stone, use this item on Eevee. So there we go, we are able to get at least one evolution in today's episode. And there's another Pokeball behind us off the grab. Eevee's evolving, let's see it. All right, and as you can see, Glaceon is here. Very cool, congratulations, Eevee evolved into Glaceon. And with it, number 186 Glaceon, the fresh snow Pokemon, ice type of course. It lowers its body heat to freeze its fur. The hairs then become like needles, it can fire. Very cool. And there you go, that goes right there. So there's only 2 more evolutions to find. This one we hadn't even ran into any. Icy Wind. Let's definitely forget a move for Icy Wind. So let's put that over Helping Hand, sure. Very cool. So at least we get 1 Pokemon so far in today's episode, but of course I want to do more than just that. We want to try to find some other Pokemon, do some evolutions as well. One thing I definitely want to do is get Sliggoo to Goodra. To do that though, I need to first off find Sliggoo and get it to level 50. Once that happens, we just need to level it up again in the rain. All right, and another one we actually have, we're gonna replace this Magius here. We need to get Gothorita to get to Gothitelle, and it only needs level 41. Actually perfectly fitting here, we got Gothorita at level 40. So what I can do there is just go to our bag, get some experience candy and make that happen. So that could be another evolution right here now. So we go to experience candy and use this on Gothitelle. Let's see if that's enough. Ooh, it is, so you're level 41 now. And here we go, we get another evolution for today's episode. Gothorita is evolving. We still need to find the base version of this, which is a Gothita, because it goes Gothita, Gothorita, Gothitelle. But there we go, very cool. Gothorita has evolved into Gothitelle. Number 236, Gothitelle, the astral body Pokemon, is a psychic type. It gazes at the stars to predict the future. It acts somewhat detached because it has seen the end of all existence. Oh no, sort of sad, but there we go, another one added. And you can see right next to it in the Pokedex is another thing we need to get, is Sinistea and the Poltegeist. We're gonna be doing that later in today's episode for sure, but I'm glad we could get some of that stuff done. And now the map is saying that there is a Glaceon somewhere in this area. Imagine right after I evolve that one, we get a Glaceon just out in the wild. That'd be so funny. I mean, technically it's possible, but just because, we know that just because it says on the map doesn't mean that it always pops up straight away or at all. It's always a chance-based thing. Either way, I do see some items we can pick up. We're good over here. We get another Ice Stone. What are the odds? Okay, I mean, that was definitely more of a random chance. I don't think we've ever climbed up here, so might as well take a look. Just wanna see what's at the tippity top, if anything. Doesn't look like it, okay. So yeah, I guess now might be a great time to evolve Sinistea if we want to, but first, I do wanna also look around if we could do some gathering, and maybe even take on some of the raids later on, the Terra raid battles. That can always be a good idea. Because there is a nice one over here. This could be something we're looking for. You never know at this point. All right, I think we have you, right? Yep, Sawsbuck, we have Sawsbuck. Let's go over here and take a look at this one. This is, I don't know if we have that. I think it's one of the ice ones. We could try it. We haven't done one of these in a long time. So that's, oh no, I pressed the wrong one though. Whoops, I was trying to choose a different Pokemon, I chose the wrong button. That could be a problem, because ice versus electric isn't really the most viable. I might just back out of this one. Okay, so it is gonna be a Squawkabilly, and we're gonna be using Tail and Flame against it. We already have a Squawkabilly, so it doesn't really matter too much if we win or lose this one, but I figure since we haven't done one in a while, we can at least get some experience candy out of it, which is always great for evolving other Pokemon we're still looking for. So let's just start with Heat Wave and just hit it with that as many times as we can. So starting with this Heat Wave, and it's a 4-star, it's something we can handle quite well, as you can see, so maybe this won't even be that difficult. It's gonna pull out its shield in a moment. With our Flame Body being applied too, we got some really nice stuff happening. So, it's gonna use Flatter against the one thing there, the Belly Bolt. But as soon as we get to attack again, they're gonna be in big trouble. So yeah, 4-star really not looking so strong against us just because we have such a typing advantage. But here comes that shield. If we can just attack again though. This is where we could also Terrasilize. I don't even know if we need to waste the time now. So we battle, use Heat Wave against Squawkabilly again. And let's see, is that enough to destroy the shield? Almost, there it is. So we're almost defeating Squawkabilly here. Come on, just a little bit more. It's using Brave Bird now. If we can just hit it a tiny bit more. So this is a super quick Terrasilize battle here. But like I said, it's worth it for the extra free resources whenever we can scoop things up like this. So definitely wanna do that. Maybe we'll spend some time doing some extra Terra Raid battles soon. Right now, hit you with the Heat Wave. Got it. So it's super effective, and with it, Squawkabilly's gonna faint. Very nice. So, with that done, there's that Pokemon defeated. Well, I mean, I'll catch it just for the sake of it. I don't really need it, but we'll catch it with the normal Pokeball, and then we will move on to some other stuff, get some experience candy, and try to continue evolving and looking for more Pokemon. Okay, so I was able to look through my Pokedex and find a few more Pokemon that we need to level up. And some of them, you know, I probably could pretty easily just get some levels by throwing this stuff out and just fighting our way through it, which, you know, I might wanna do a little bit because I don't know exactly, you know, which Pokemon to find where, but I figure we have a lot of experience candy right now. We could always spend some more time grinding it up. The most efficient way to do this would probably be just to use experience candy. So let's go to our bag, and what I wanna do is just work on these different Pokemon. So the first one we have, if we go over to our experience candy, is going to be this Silicobra. The Silicobra needs to be level 36 to evolve, so we'll start using some experience candy S on you. I'm gonna use like a good 10 of them and see what that puts you at. Gets you to level 26, so we need to do 10 more levels. And once again, we're gonna forget the moves or just like not bother learning new ones, just because it's gonna take too much time. So let's make sure, use this item, on you. How many? We're just gonna do another 10 and see if that gets you up to level 36. It does, exactly level 36, fantastic. So there we go, Silicobra wants to learn to move Dig. We're going to leave that one. And Sandstorm, also gonna leave it just because we can learn these later if we really wanted to. But more than that, we get another evolution here for a Silicobra this time. Such a cute Pokemon. So Silicobra is evolving, and as you can see, what is it gonna turn into? Ta-da! Whoa, so cool. This is the Sandaconda. Super coiled up and everything. Looks really good. Number 271, the Sandaconda is a sand snake Pokemon, a ground type. The sanded spews contain sharp, pointy gravel, which is actually just sand that Sandaconda's saliva has hardened into irregular shapes. Very cool, so glad to have that one. We need to do more of the same with some of the other Pokemon in our Pokedex at the moment, but that's gonna go straight back in there, and we're just gonna keep with that. So we use this item instead of Silicobra, we have Sandile over this way, and with Sandile, we need to first get them to level 29. So I think 5 medium candies should be enough to get them to level 30, so they should evolve. Once again, if we could just have them not learn these moves for the sake of saving time, that'd be great, but there we go. Sandile, level 30 now. Thank you, there we go. So a lot of evolution in these episodes, but that's really just, what we're focused on. So Sandile is evolving, it's so cute. I don't know why this one doesn't get thrown out. It's a little weird that this one has its own screen, but the other one doesn't, but look at this guy. Looking pretty fancy. Our Sandile is evolved in the Krokorok, but we're not quite done with it there. It's currently Krokorok, number 268, the Desert Croc Pokemon, a ground dark type. Thanks to the special membrane covering its eyes, it can see its surroundings clearly, even in the middle of the night. And it knows it too, it's looking very smug. And there we go, I like it. So we're gonna evolve Krokorok one more time here, just using some more of this candy, getting it from a level 30 to level 40 is the goal. So we'll use some of that, and then we'll also use some experience candy out, because we only need 5 more levels. Use this item on Krokorok here, use another 5 of them, and we got to the level 45. That was a little bit extra then, a little bit extra, but that is enough to, Earthquake's a good move, get you to your next level up. So here we go, Krokorok is evolving again. See what I did this time? Maybe it's because I pressed a button or something, I don't really know. Krokorok evolves into this big red guy. This is Crocodile. I like it. So number 269, Crocodile, the intimidation Pokemon, is a ground dark type. Its unique faculty of sight can detect small prey more than 30 miles away, even in the midst of a sandstorm. Very cool. So glad to have that. And then I think we have 1 or 2 we still need to evolve here. So if we go, yeah, okay, so yeah, a couple. This one's gonna take a lot more work. I might actually save the Larvesta for later then, because I don't know if I'll have enough experience candy, but the one next to it should be, what is it called? We'll see it in a moment. This is Shelgon. So Shelgon, I don't need to get up as many levels. I think Shelgon needs to be level 50. So we're just gonna use the 3 that we have here, and that gets us to level 46. Not gonna worry about the moves like I said before, but the experience candy is all that we're about right now. So the other 2 that we have here gets up to almost level 50. Come on, let's use like a good 20 of them, I guess. I need to use a lot here. Maybe let's just use 10 for now, because I don't wanna use more than I have to. That gets up to level 47, so I just do that again. Maybe I'll do 15 this time. 49 now, okay, I just gotta use the rest of it. Sort of a shame. But I mean, I could just use a rare candy. I have a lot of them. Use this item right here. There we go. So that should get them all the way up to level 50, and that will be a 3rd evolution here on this mountaintop. I guess 4th if you consider Glaceon and Gothorita or whatever. So I guess, yeah, a lot of evolution so far in today's episode. And there we go. That, of course, Shogun evolves into Salamence. Very cool Pokemon, it is huge too. So glad to see it. Add this to our Pokedex, number 278, Salamence, the dragon Pokemon, is a dragon flying type. It becomes uncontrollable if it is enraged. It destroys everything with shredding claws and fire. So there we go, another evolution for us. What I wanna do now is I want to not teach it to move fly. Instead, we're going to go and evolve Sinistea. For that, we need a specific item that can be found in a specific shop. So I think that's what we'll get started on next. So the weird thing about Sinistea is that it actually has 2 evolution forms depending on if it's real or a phony. So there's a phony version and an antique version. I don't really know how to check. There's supposed to be a little marker on the bottom, but I don't know how to get it to show the bottom of it. So what we're gonna do is just try to find one of each item and just use both of them. So if this is a phony, which apparently is more likely, we would need to go find the chipped pot, which can just be found out in the wild. So we'll have to go and take a look at that and see if that works. Okay, so to find the chipped pot, one of the two that we need to find here, there's a chipped pot and a cracked pot. To find the chipped pot, it should be somewhere here in, was it Port Miranda or whatever? And one of these sellers, I think it's this one, resist feathers at bargain prices, maybe? Hola amigo, we've got 26 resist feathers. So maybe I don't know exactly how this works. Maybe next time, I'm just gonna take a look around. Rotom catalog, get in while you can. We've got one Rotom catalog up for auction. I don't have this, so I mean, I guess maybe I'll buy it. There's some things we can buy here though, which is always fun. There's always a lot going on in this game. We have a lot of money, over 700,000, so I don't think we'll be outbid by most things. We'll go for 500. Somebody's doing 1,000. Somebody's saying 2,500. 3,500? Will that scare them off? 4,000. Okay, it'd be expensive, but they're dropping out. 4,000 is the starting bid. Can we get an offer? Let's do 5,000. Okay, where the kid gets so much money, but becoming the Pokemon Master, we'll get ourselves a Rotom thing. So this is fun. Thank you for your generous bid, young man. That'll be 5,000 if you please. There we go. Our stock is always at the highest quality. Do come and bid again, won't you? So that's cool. Dusk balls, hyper potions. Don't really need too much of those. What about you? What do you have? Hello there, how about some tasty phones, handy accessories for your sandwiches? Let's see what you have. I don't think there's anything here that I don't have too much of. But I'm not super into getting stuff for our sandwiches at the moment. Didn't really work out for me too well last time, did it? So I'm guessing you have more sandwich stuff. Well, they just maybe just straight up sell sandwiches. So if I could get a couple of these, you know, like, what is this one? Encounter power, water. So maybe there's a specific Pokemon I'm looking for. I should probably just buy some of these. Also, I can spend LP on it, because you know what else am I spending LP on? So, there we go. Do I have to eat it right now though? Oh, is that how this works? I thought I could save it for later. Well, that's not so useful. I thought, you know, okay, I could save it for some other time when I need it. I don't need it right now. That was spicy. All right. I'm not very good at discovering things in this game, as you can see. We got our Zesty Sandwich, which will make it so that we can encounter water type Pokemon if we're really looking for that. Okay, I'm gonna leave that then and see what other people we can maybe interact with here. What do you guys sell over here? So far, I guess it's just a chance on if the chip pop actually shows up. What can you guys do? Okay, it's just more provisions for sandwich making. That makes sense. And then over here, I'm assuming the same. Fresh produce at the deli shio, so I like it. So yeah, unfortunately not what I'm looking for. The resist feathers. So I don't know, this is all, because I'll read a line about some things on how to do these, but I don't want to like spoil the whole thing. So I tried to figure it out as we go along, but that seems to not be working out for me so well. I mean, we still got a lot of evolutions in today's episode so far, but just not everything I was looking for. So we'll have to try to figure out some other stuff soon. But there are some other stores out this way, right? This is just ice cream and stuff, which is cool, but not exactly what I need. So I think for right now, maybe we'll get out this way, grab an extra TM in this boat, but it might just be time to go do some lessons at the school. So we got some evolutions, only one evolution, unfortunately. Maybe I'll go swing by and see if we can't find any more EVs, because that would be great, but beyond that, it's time to do some school lessons. All right, well, we're ready to do some more lessons here. Let's go for it. So we did our midterms last episode. Our goal now is to be finishing up most of these classes, so it might take us some time, but we're gonna start with history, or biology, not history, with Mr. Jacques. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so biology class number 4 here. Hello, hello, I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. You all did really good on the midterm exam. Yeah, I think we got every question right for almost every midterm. Thanks for answering my little question at the end too. I'll be sure to keep your responses in mind. All right, we're now heading into the last half of our classes together. It's time for our knowledge to evolve and grow, just like our Pokemon. Evolution, yep, evolution. Today we're going to learn about the fascinating phenomenon of Pokemon evolution. As your Pokemon battle and level up, they learn moves and get stronger. And for some Pokemon, once they've leveled up enough, their appearance changes and their stats increase, sometimes by a lot. That's Pokemon evolution. Pokemon become very strong when they evolve, making them trusty partners in battle. But some people prefer to keep their Pokemon in their adorable pre-evolved states. To do this, you just need to remember a certain button when your Pokemon begins to evolve. Say it with me, if you already know. To cancel evolution, press I think it's the B button. That's right everyone, B for best answer. The button what you want when you need to stop a Pokemon from evolving is the B button. If you press this button soon after a Pokemon begins to evolve, you can stop it from changing. You can also let the Pokemon hold an item known as an Everstone to keep it from evolving. And keep in mind that the requirements for evolution differ from Pokemon to Pokemon. Some may evolve by having a certain item, such as a Firestone or Thunderstone, used on them. Others may have to learn a specific move or defeat a specific Pokemon in battle to evolve. The way Primeape evolves into Annihilape is especially strange. You see, there's a certain move that, guess we won't quite learn here. Oops, sorry, looks like we're out of time. I guess we'll have to end class there today. Thank you all for your attention. All right, very cool. Annihilape is another one of those Pokemon that I really want to get soon. I mean, we do have the pre-evolutions of that, so definitely gonna focus on it sooner or later, but we're just gonna hop into another biology class. Okay, another biology with Mr. Jacques. I'm ready to learn new things, but before we get going, do you all remember the final question from our midterm exam? Well, George Clavel found out about it somehow, and I got yelled at. Whoops. Apparently, you could tell I was hiding something just by looking at me. You must have noticed all of the color flush right out of my face. Speaking of color, today I'd like to teach you all about the colors as they pertain to Pokemon. Some Pokemon have slightly different coloration or patterning on their bodies based on their gender or individual differences. In very rare cases, a Pokemon may have wildly different coloration compared to others of the same species. We call the specimen shiny Pokemon. It is quite rare to cross paths with one. Does anyone here know what the likelihood of finding a shiny Pokemon is? I'm guessing it's pretty high, 1 in 4,000? Wow, that's right. You may have the makings of a Pokemon professor, Zebra. Shiny Pokemon appear in the rate of 1 in 4,000. Isn't that amazing? The probability of encountering one in the wild is the same as hatching from an egg too. Eggs from a pair of Pokemon raised around different languages are a special case. There is a higher than average chance that a shiny Pokemon will hatch from these eggs, but we haven't been able to figure out why that is just yet. I've also heard rumors of a charm that increases your likelihood of finding shiny Pokemon when you have it in your bag. Can you believe that? This claim can't be scientifically verified, but it sure would be fun if it were true. All right. See, learning about shiny Pokemon, we've caught 2 shiny Pokemon so far. One of them, of course, is on our team, the shiny Oinkologne. All right, another biology lesson. Next time we meet, we'll have our final exam. That means today is our last actual class. And the topic for this class will be Pokemon forms. You can just think of forms as the shapes or appearances that Pokemon have. There's also a phenomenon called a form change, where a Pokemon's appearance changes under certain conditions. Cyclizar, for example, which we regularly ride on as transformation here in Paldea, has 3 forms. First is its basic form, where it walks on 4 legs. Second is its battle form, where it stands on its hind legs to engage in battle. Finally, there's its ride form, where it inflates its back throat sac. Finally, there's its ride form, where it inflates its throat sac and its tail so it can ride on its back. Though, we can use something you are all carrying with you now as an even better example. Yep, I'm talking about your phones. Some smartphones are inhabited by a certain Pokemon. Does anyone know the Pokemon I'm referring to? Of course, Rotom. You're a regular expert on Pokemon and technology, aren't you, Zebra? The Pokemon inside your smartphone is Rotom, and it does all sorts of things to help you out. A Rotom inside a Rotom phone is special, so it doesn't try to enter other electronics. An ordinary Rotom, however, can change form by entering washing machines, microwave ovens, and other electronic appliances. Rotom is a bit of an exception though. Many Pokemon that change form do so simply by holding an item or by having one used item. Oricorio, for example, has 4 different forms it can change between when given certain nectars. Pokemon may even change type or learn different moves when they change form. Form changes are different from evolution in that the Pokemon can return to its original form, and unlike shiny Pokemon, which can't change their special coloration, the same individual Pokemon can go back and forth between its forms. There's a lot to dig into with this form change phenomenon, as you can see. We can all learn something from Pokemon here, don't you think? Bit of a stretch, but I'd be happy to see you all enjoy your time at the Academy to the fullest and change form into a new version of yourselves. Or something like that anyway. Oh, I almost forgot. Regional forms, which vary based on what region a Pokemon came from, don't change like other forms. They are innate. Of course, always good to keep in mind. We know about a lot of Paldean forms. Whoops, there's the bell. I guess I was scatterbrained, Mr. Jacques, right up to the very end, huh? I had a great time teaching all of you. I hope you'll do your best on the final exam. So I figure we'll hop into that right now, the final exam for biology with Mr. Shock. It's gonna be sad to see him go. He's one of my favorite teachers here. So here is our biology final. Today is our final exam. It will cover everything I've taught you so far, but I'm sure you will all do just fine. Take your time and contemplate each question carefully. Number 1, how many of the following 4 methods makes it easier to catch a Pokemon? Inflicting paralysis, use a Poketoy, beating it a berry, surprising it from behind. I mean, technically all of these, so 4. I would say 4. True or false? You can get new Pokemon only by catching them yourself or trading it with other trainers. Both? Wait, you can get new Pokemon only by I don't understand, it should be both of them. So I guess this is false, this is like a trick question. If a Pokemon is holding an Everstone, will using an item that includes evolution such as Firestone cause it to evolve? I don't think it would. So no, it won't. What is the probability of running into a shiny Pokemon? 1 in 4,000. True or false, the Pokemon known as Oricorio has 3 forms. I think it had 4. This question won't affect your grade. Do you have anything you would like to say about my class? I'm still getting used to this teaching thing, but I sure had fun as your teacher. Thank you for being our teacher. Okay, time's up whether you like it or not. I hope everyone enjoyed tackling those questions. Hopefully I did well. I snuck in a little bonus question there at the end. Again, shh, our little secret. Don't tell the director. I'll grade these right away. I hope you're all looking forward to seeing how you did. So I don't know if there's anything else after that in terms of like getting our grade, or is it just done? We'll see. Still pretty intense questions compared to the midterm. It feels great to get a test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. You must get 3 questions correct to pass the midterm exams and 4 questions correct to pass the final exams. Let's see, we did answer 3 out of 5. No, I gotta do it again. Unfortunately, that's enough to pass. You'll need to take the exam again. Okay, so I'll just do it again really quickly and we'll see. Some of the questions were just weirdly worded. Okay, so I tried it again. I'm pretty sure, I thought that, I've never tried it, using an Everstone and then using an Evolution Stone. I guess it still causes it to evolve. I guess we'll see. Will we get all the questions right this time? Got 5 out of 5 questions correctly. That's a passing score, congratulations. I don't know which other one, I guess it was the first question. Mr. Jacques asked us to give this reward to any students who pass the exam. You obtained 5 experience candies M. That's fantastic. So I guess we're all done with biology, keep doing your best. Like if we try to start a class again now, I'm really curious, what ends up happening this time? It's just gone now. Okay then, so we can revisit classes if we want. I have no interest in doing that, so we're just gonna continue next with math. All right, with Mrs. Time. Hello everyone, well done on the midterm exam. Some of you earned perfect scores and others seem to have a bit of trouble, but I can tell that you all tried your best. I'm quite pleased to say that every last one of you passed. I can only assume that this means you all have come to love numbers. Stay sharp and try your best for the rest of my classes too. Speaking of staying sharp, do you know how that word applies to Pokemon battles? That's right, it has to do with stat boosts. Pokemon's stats can rise and fall throughout the course of battle, correct? For example, if a Pokemon uses the move Work Up, its attack and special attacks will rise by 1 stage each. And as you may know, each time a Pokemon's attack or special attack rises 1 stage, moves affected by that stat will deal 50% more damage. If that same Pokemon from our previous example were to use Work Up again, both its attack and special attack will have risen by 2 stages total. This results in a 100% increase to damage dealt, making its moves twice as strong. Swords Dance, on the other hand, boosts the attack by 2 stages at once, allowing the Pokemon to deal double damage after just a single use. Using Swords Dance twice would boost the Pokemon's attack by 4 stages. How much more damage then would this Pokemon deal? Quadruple damage. Yes, this question is a tricky one, isn't it? Just because it boosts oh, you know what, no, it'd be triple. Yeah, okay. Each stage that a Pokemon's attack or special attack is raised increases its damage by 50%. So being raised 4 stages would result in 4 times 50% or 200% increase. Oh, I thought, okay, I'm getting confused. It's multiplying the base of it. There's a lot of reading here. The base damage of a move is 100%, so adding 200% to that gives us 300%. In other words, the next move the Pokemon uses will deal triple damage. So it's not multiplying whatever damage it has, but adding on the extra base damage. Type matchups, critical hit damage, and other factors will play into these calculations as well, so even a small boost must be taken seriously. By the way, if a stat simply rose, that means it's gone up by 1 stage. If it rose sharply, that's 2 stages. And if it rose drastically, that's 3 stages. Just so you know, the X attack and X special attack items, which can be used in battle, can be used to sharply boost those respective stats. Very cool. Oh my, is that the bell? I suppose that's all for now. What a shame. Today's lesson was a little difficult, so be sure to review what you learned in order to stay sharp. I'll see you all again next class. Okay, so another maths class here. Let's have a fun class today. Did you make sure to review last class's material in order to stay sharp? I know it's a little difficult with all the talk of multiplication and percentages and the like, but today we'll be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we're going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you already deal with probability on a regular basis? Pokemon moves generally have a property called accuracy, which determines the probability that they will hit it. The accuracy of a tackle is 100 or 100%. So if you were to tackle 100 times, you could expect it to hit all 100 times. The move Hypnosis, which puts opponents to sleep, has an accuracy of 60 or 60%. That means you could expect it to hit 60 times in 100 uses. That, to put it that way, out of 100 uses, you could expect it to miss 40 times. Many of the truly powerful moves often tend to have lower accuracy. So when you're deciding whether to go slow and steady with moves that are sure to hit, or hard and fast with stronger but less accurate moves, you're already studying probability. Let me see here, perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be good examples for this discussion. Surf has a power of 90, its accuracy is 100, meaning you can expect it to hit every time. Hydro Pump's accuracy is only 80, but when it hits, its power is 110. So between Surf and Hydro Pump, which moves do you want to use yourself? It depends on the situation. Oh my, so you're always considering various possibilities, Zebra. I may have made it sound like there was a correct answer here, but there's not. You're free to use any moves you wish. Factors like PP or number of targets hit may make some moves more suited for certain situations. However, trading accuracy for power or vice versa is purely a matter of preference. This Surf versus Hydro Pump debate has been ongoing for quite some time. Personally, I'm more invested in debating the rock-type moves, Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Let me tell you, I could really get worked up talking about those moves, but oh my, there's the bell. What a shame. Next class will be the last of our time together, so show up 100% ready to go. All right, well, we're making our way through math pretty quickly. Okay, so we got our next lesson here. Probability is quite an interesting subject. Did you know that in a class with 40 students, there's a 90% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday? This is true even despite the fact that there are over 300 days each year. Isn't that remarkable? But let's move on to today's topic before we get swept along with probability again. I've been teaching you all how to calculate damage in this class using examples like type matchups, critical hits, stat boosts, and the like. All of the variables are multiplied together to calculate damage dealt to an opponent. However, did you know that there is an even simpler way to increase the damage of your Pokemon's moves? All you have to do is have your Pokemon use a move it shares a type with. If a rock-type Pokemon uses a rock-type move Stone Edge, the move's base power is 100, a power of 100 is multiplied by 1.5 to become 150. Ground and Rock may seem similar types, but if a ground-type Pokemon uses Stone Edge, the move's power will remain 100. Super effective moves and critical hits also add multipliers onto this little numerical increase, so it most certainly must not be taken lightly. Let me ask you a question to see if you understand what I'm talking about here. Say you have a move with a power of 100. If a Pokemon that shares a type with this move uses it and hits an opponent that is weak to that type, what happens to the move's power? Okay, well, I missed the numbers. It becomes 200, I think? Close, but a power of 200 would only take into account the doubling effect of using a move that is super effective against its opponent, so it'd be 300. I wish I could see the full question on the same message. First, using a move that shares a type with its user multiplies the move's base power of 100 by 1.5, making the power 150. The fact that the opponent is weak to the move's type then doubles that power from 150 to 300. The original power of the move ends up being tripled, isn't that amazing? What's more, if a Pokemon terrestrializes and its Terra type matches one of its original types, then the bonus it gets for using a move of that same type increases from 1.5 to 2. Of course, being able to use a lot of moves with different types is great as well. That's one way you can surprise your opponent. In the end, your own innate characteristics are what will really let you shine the most. Bear in mind that this is true for both humans and Pokemon. It sure would make me happy if you could take those words to heart. but I suppose I should really have shared this basic advice right from our first lesson. My apologies. And just like that, class is over. The last of our time together flew by like in the blink of an eye. It was so much fun to be able to teach all of you eager students about numbers. Next class will be our final exam. Be sure to review the material well in preparation. All right, sounds good. All right, so our math final is here. All right, everyone, it's time to begin our final exam. I'm sure the fun experiences you all had in my class will serve you well as you answer. So how many Great Balls could you purchase with 3,000 if one costs 600? I think that's just going to be 5 of them, right? Because you're not gonna get the bonus Premier Ball. So we're just gonna say 5. If a water type move with a power of 100 lands a critical hit on a grass type Pokemon, what will the move's power be? So water type against grass is not very effective, but it is a critical. So I think it's 1.5 times 3, right? Or negated by, I don't know how to explain it in words, but I think it'd be 75. Under normal conditions, what % chance does Stone Edge have to land a critical hit? What does it mean by normal conditions? I guess, I don't know if we really talked about this one too much. I might just have to guess on this. Unless I was just like to go check it, but I don't remember really talking about this, so I'm just gonna guess 12. If a Pokemon uses Sword Dance twice to boost its attack by 4 stages, how much damage will its physical move do? So we know this one's triple damage. If a rock type Pokemon whose Terra type is rock terastallizes, what will the power of the rock type move be multiplied by? This one's pretty crazy, right? But I'm pretty sure it'd be 2. So let's hope we got them all right. All right, everyone, time is up. Put your hands on your laps now. This test was a culmination of all I taught you, and I'm sure you all did just fine. Do go ask for your scores at the front desk and take a nice break. Okay, so let's hope that we get another win here, another successful test, so that hopefully we can just move on. We can move on to our next lessons and get some experience candy. See, did we get at least 4 correct? Come on, let's see how you did on your math test. It is going to be a 5 out of 5. All right, awesome, that's a passing score. So of course we get some experience candy and we can move on to our next classes, which I think will be history. Let's see. History, all right, let's do some history classes. So we're here with Miss Ryfort. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now a part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures were as follows: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Aha, perfect timing to make eye contact, young zebra. Answer me this. I said that one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Wooden planks with for writing on, handheld electronic devices, medicine that you chew. I mean, I think tablets as in like writing tablets. Maybe I'm wrong? Correct, your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these paper substitutes treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh, is it that time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside of class hours. All right then, so maybe we'll do that at some point, but I'm ready to move to the next lesson. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history, and our next history lesson here will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the great crater of Paldea and its interior, Area 0. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area Zero Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Aha, perfect time to make eye contact, young zebra. Let's see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? Well, I've totally blanked already. I think the Survey Corps probably, right? Or maybe, let's just do the Survey Corps. Incorrect, though I will admit that an expedition and a Survey Corps may take part in very similar activities. The correct name for this team was the Area Zero Expedition. The record of their activities written by the expedition member Heath can be found in bookstores and the like even today. This record is now known as the Violet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Violet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. That Violet Book was condemned to the shelves of the used bookstores as just another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy of one of the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. All right then, so another interesting history lesson there. These always seem to have some very intense endings, I suppose. Okay, so I think this is our last history lesson before the finals. I guess we'll find out in just a moment here. Today is our last class, so I'd like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago, not that long at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably towards the future. Would it not be for an adventure to march toward the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? I think it would be. So you agree with me, do you, Zebra? However, I'm afraid I risk incurring the wrath of our dear director if I stray from the curriculum. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us toward the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of the terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind Terra Orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore that area. And around 140 years ago, Pokemon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may have already guessed, these were in fact terrestrialized Pokemon. However, when those who discovered these Pokemon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded, and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Aha, perfect time to make eye contact, young zebra. Answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Of course, that is Professor Turo, right? Correct. To think that you, a new transfer to our academy, could correctly answer this question, you must be very diligent in your studies. And also, we've had some interesting contact with Professor Turo. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Turo unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. He discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent the Terra Orb technology and to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Clovell was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, this story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? I don't know if I entirely agree with that. Thus ends my history classes. Our next session will be our final exam. Okay, bring me the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. All right, let's go do this final. All right, we're ready for our finals here. It's time for our final examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark resources of your mind and answer the questions. What is the area within the Great Crater Paldea called? Of course, this one is pretty easy. It is just going to be Area Zero. How many years ago did the Academy was founded? Oh man, I think 805. That sounds like a nice number. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about our the 4 treasures. Vessel, a folding fan, a set of tablets, a set of beads. I'm pretty sure the folding fan, that seems like the weirdest one. Which area 0 expedition member wrote the records of the team's activities? Heath, not leaf or thief, Heath. How many years ago did Professor Turo invent Terra Orbs? This one was really recent, just 10 years ago. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. You must excuse that last question. It is too shallow and ridiculous to be on a history test. But alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. All right, very cool. So I think we got all the questions correctly on this one. Here's hoping. Guess we'll see in just a moment. So this was our 3rd lesson, our 3rd final exam. I think we have 3 more left to go. So let's take a look. We got 5 out of 5, awesome. So that'll be 5 more experience candies for us as well. Very nice. And we will move on to the next one. Okay, now we have Mr. Salvatore's lessons, of course, language, but this is my weakest one, so we'll see how it goes. How did you like the midterm exam? You all did really great. We're halfway there, and now time for another lesson. Are you ready? I think so. My friends, I knew I could count on you stars. Leading into the midterm, we learned all sorts of words from different regions. Starting today though, I'll be throwing a curveball for we begin listening comprehension. Vasi, go for it, my assistant, Pikachu. Oh, I got a Pikachu. Pikachu, so cute. As you just heard, Pokemon can also use words to communicate. It's not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning, just as ours do. Pokemon can use language to share all kinds of information with each other, like the location of food or whether there may be predators nearby. The same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious. So, aujourd'hui, today, that is, let's learn some Pokemon language. If you'd be so kind, Pikachu? Aw. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? I think out of all 3, probably happiness. Sorry, Zebra, that's not right. Pokemon language is hard, isn't it? When Pikachu says, Pika, I guess it's anger? It's using its angry voice. I mean, they all sort of just sound like Pikachu. That's right, I have my little Pikachu friend here pretend to be angry for us. So it's more about the inflection and the emotion. Do you think you did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. Aw. What a performer. The same Pokemon can even communicate its feelings in many different ways. Their voices change depending on their mood and physical condition. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon. You might gain a deeper understanding of them. That having been said, Pokemon are quite mysterious creatures. Some actually don't communicate with words at all, but instead use things like electromagnetic or ultrasonic waves. Some even use telepathy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you poke at your Pokemon too many times while washing them during picnics, they'll get mad at you like Pikachu just demonstrated. Uh-oh. Gotta keep that in mind. Well, adios. Sounds good, so we'll head out of there and we'll try another language lesson. My dear friends, how are you all today? I hope you are doing marvelously well. It's time for another Salvatore's language lessons. Are you ready? I think I am. As ready as I'm gonna be. I would expect no less from my excellent friends. Even your replies to my questions are excellent. Today, we will once again be focusing on listening. Go for my assistant is Pikachu again? Okay. Pikachu. As you may remember from our last class, the same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. Today, that is, we'll be learning more about the language used by Pokemon. You'd be so kind, Pikachu? Okay, so here's another one, Pika. That sounds a little bleak, doesn't it? Its voice seems a little lower pitched too. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? I would say, I guess this time, sadness. Ding, 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 that's right, Zebra, fantastic. When Pikachu says, so it's really about the audio than it is anything else, because it's the same exact animation. It's expressing kindness. Kind of makes you want to cry, doesn't it? That's right, my little Pikachu cries if it was crying. Funny joke, right? Don't you think you did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. So we're just going through different emotions with Pikachu right now. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you hear one of your Pokemon making sad noises like this one, you should treat them with even more kindness than usual. Well, you probably already knew that though. A piece of cake for you all, I'm sure. Of course, this goes for your classmates and others as well. Friends should support each other in times of sadness. I truly hope that you all can have smiles on your faces all the time, my friends. Okay, so that means we probably have one more lesson, our approach for change course. Next lesson, that is, we are final lesson together. I hope you're ready for the climactic finale. Adios. So one more language lesson, let's get through it. So our final lesson here in languages. Let's go for it. It's time for the last of Salvatore's language lessons. Are you ready? What a réponse fantastique. Great answer that is. Perfect for our last class together. I love it. Today, we will once again be having a listening lesson. So we got Pikachu again. Aw. Let's get right to it, my little Pikachu friends. For our last listening class, tell everyone how you're feeling right now. That sounded pretty happy. Ooh, can you feel that? This one is contagious. That's one contagious emotion in Pikachu's voice. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Happiness, pain, or surprise? Definitely happiness. Well done, Zebra. I'm so happy that you got it right. Get it? When Pikachu says, it's expressing happiness. Doesn't it make you just want to break out in a happy dance? But I didn't have to ask Pikachu to put on an act today. Oh no, I simply asked it to show you all how it felt about getting to have a class with you. Getting to meet so many new friends and study together in this class with you. It's made both me and my little Pikachu so very happy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you one last word of advice. As you live your lives, I'm sure you will have times when you get mad or sad, maybe even more than you would like. Everything has its ups and downs. Life is a veritable roller coaster. But à la fin, in the end, that is, there is surely happiness waiting for you. So garde le sourire, or however you'd pronounce it, keep a smile on your face even in the hardest times. When you're faced with a problem you can't handle alone, find someone to rely on, be it a teacher, your family, your friends, anyone. Our prochain course, next lesson will be our final exam. Be sure to review what we learned in all our lessons so far. Adios. Okay, so let's go and do the language final. So here we are, the language finals. Today we take our final exam. Relax, that is, and do your best. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. Which of the following means delicious? Well, this one's pretty easy, it's B. What do these two foreign phrases mean? Je t'aime, ich liebe dich, which I think is, I love you. Happy Pikachu, oh, this is gonna be one of them. What one was that? That was the happiness one, right? No, that was anger, okay. Now that one was happiness. And then what is your beloved teacher's name? Salvatore, I do remember that one. Our time is up. Put down your pens, that is, okay. I assume that obligatory dernier question, last question, that is, give you no trouble. I'm sure you all did great, bravo my friends. You can get your scores at the school's front desk. All right, so there we go. We were able to get another lesson done, and I mean, I hope this was all correct. Here's hoping, I think so. Luckily the finals weren't too bad for this one. It feels great to get the test out of the way. So out of everything we got 5 out of 5. Okay, we're doing really good now. The passing score with 5 more experience candies as a reward. So we still have more classes to do, but we're one less to worry about. So that's great. Battle studies is up next. This one definitely I enjoy a lot. Another day, another round of battle study. Let's get right to it. You all gave everything you had on the midterm exams. Well done. We'll resume our regular classes today, so keep up that energy for a second half of the term. Have you all been using the R button to send out your Pokemon? If you do, your Pokemon will run off in the direction you're facing. It's a super useful tactic that lets your Pokemon pick up faraway items for you, and that's not all. If there's a wild Pokemon near where you sent your Pokemon, they'll start battling each other. We call those battles auto battles. Just as the name implies, your Pokemon will act on its own during auto battles, meaning you won't have to give it any commands. And if your Pokemon wins, it'll get experience points just like it would in regular battle. If you make good use of these battles, they can be a really efficient way to train your party. But you'll want to remember that Pokemon won't evolve or learn new moves right away if they level up from an auto battle. Also, if a Pokemon loses an auto battle, it'll come back with just a small amount of HP left. Make sure to heal it up right away. Whoops, I just about did the whole class as a one-sided lecture. Does anyone have any questions so far? How do I stop an auto battle? Can I catch wild Pokemon in auto battles? I think, no, we can't. Great, you're all really good at this. I can't wait to see where you go from here. Even during auto battles, our Pokemon are out there battling for us. They're trainers. Keep an eye on them as much as possible. And if it looks like they're going to lose, be sure to have them retreat. Also, this goes without saying, the Pokemon with low HP are already worn out. They probably won't enjoy auto battles as much, so don't work them too hard, okay? All right. In conclusion, auto battles only work if a trainer and their Pokemon have a relationship of mutual trust. Be smart with how you choose auto battles so you don't lose the trust of your Pokemon. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home, but I guess we run out of time, as usual. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. All right, goodbye. So there's our first battle studies lesson of today. Another day, another round of battle study. Osu, let's get right to it. I hope you gave auto battles a shot like we talked about last class. Making good use of auto battles will let you train up a bunch of different Pokemon. It's also an efficient way to gather Pokemon materials you need to make TMs and TM machines. Speaking of which, have you all been using the TM machines? I sure hope so, cause it's pop quiz time. To create TMs, you need Pokemon materials and one other thing. Anyone remember what it is? That'd be LP. Looks like you're already a TM Machine Pro, new kid. The correct answer is League Points, or LP for short. You can give LP and Pokemon materials to a TM machine to create TMs, but that's not all. You can also exchange Pokemon materials at a TM machine to get LP. I recently heard about some shady individuals getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking, or something like that. I don't want any of you to getting involved in bad stuff like that, got it? I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, you can also add TMs that you want to make to your watch list. This will let you keep an eye on the materials you need to gather. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon materials. And if you want to get a hold of lots of materials, you'll need to battle all kinds of Pokemon. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home, but I guess we're never gonna have the time. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. All right, another lesson done. This is our last class, but don't let those energy levels drop before we wrap things up. You've shown that you have more than enough knowledge to be super strong battlers. I don't know that I have much left to teach you. But we can always aim for even greater heights. So today, I'm going to teach you about the rules of link battles. Ooh. When two trainers participate in link battles together, they can engage in either single battle or double battles with each other. And if you're playing in a group of 4, you can also battle each other in multi-battles. Now, when you're out having battles during independent study, you can use whatever number of Pokemon you like, and they could be any level. But in link battles, there's special rules to keep in mind. Some of these special rules involve adjusting Pokemon's levels. Now, the no restriction rule set lets all Pokemon stay at their current level. It lets trainers use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiple of the same held item too. But if you choose to use normal rules, all Pokemon will be set to level 50 for your battles, regardless of what level they actually are. This even includes lower level Pokemon. They'll get a power boost to participate. Normal rules let you use multiple of the same Pokemon species and of the same held items too. The great part about this rule set is that it lets any of your Pokemon participate. All they have to do is learn some good moves. Lastly, the rule set called Flat Rules mostly affects Pokemon over level 50. Such Pokemon will be set to level 50 for the duration of the battle. The Flat Rules set is the one most often used for official tournaments. This rule does not allow trainers to use multiple Pokemon of the same species or multiples of the same held item. All right, here's a question for you. Which rule set should you pick if you want to use a lower level Pokemon and keep its level low? For that one, I guess we use Flat Rules. That's the one, new kid. Looks like you were listening to the lesson. If you've got some clever strategy that you need to use a level 5 Pokemon for, your best bet is to choose the Flat Rules rule set. Of course, you can also choose no restrictions if you want to battle with any Pokemon you want, at any level, with any held item. That's a pretty good rule set for when you want to battle freely with friends. In conclusion, Normal rules adjust all Pokemon to level 50. Flat rules let you use lower level Pokemon at their actual levels. I hope you'll use these tips to have some exciting battles with your friends. Oh man, I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home, but I guess we really truly are out of time. Next class will be our final exam. Aim for a perfect score. Will do. It's finally game day. Today is our final exam. Time to put on your game faces and do battle with those test sheets. Which of these cheer boosts attack and special attack for all allies during a terror raid battle? We have go all out, go all in, or out we go. I think for this one it's go all out. What do we call battles that Pokemon sent out with the R button to do on their own? Those are auto battles, I think, not auto fights. Definitely not you can do it battles. So we'll do auto battles. How should you obtain LP? Hack the system. I don't know about that, but exchange materials. High level Pokemon are adjusted to what level when using flat rules in link battles? Level 50. So, level 50. When using normal rules in link battles, you can use multiple Pokemon of the same species and multiple of the same element. I think that's false, or maybe not for normal rules. That was for the other kind. So I think this might be true. Time's up, put your pencils down. I saw you giving it everything you've got. Make sure you get you've all get perfect scores. You all did too well in my class. If you pass this test, you'll officially be battle masters. Now go ask for your surely stellar scores at the front desk, little rascals. So let's see if we got all 5 out of 5 out of this one. Then we have, I think, 2 more classes. Hopefully not 3, this has been going on for a long time, so. But I'm glad we're getting them all out of the way so that, you know, we can focus on other things. It was great to have a test out of the way. And what did we get? 5 out of 5, so that means 5 more experience candies. Amazing. Okay, so let's keep it moving. What do we have next for us? It is going to be the art classes. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. I'm pleased to say that everybody did very well in their midterm exams. As a reward for all of your work, we have a special guest visiting us today. Ooh. Now then, Brassy, please come in. Greetings. Brassy, oh yeah, this is one of the gym leaders. Very cool. Yeah, there's Brasius. I am Brasius. I'm an artist and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokemon for my work. Brasius here mainly creates 3-dimensional pieces, such as statues and the like. One of his major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflora, found in Artisan. Many of you who've challenged the Artisan Gym are no doubt familiar with these sculptures. I am. Yes, I do recognize some faces among your students. I hope you'll understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend Hass's classes. Old Hass is the man who saved me when I lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Hass that I was able to establish my current art style. Ah, dear Brassy, I've nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I hope you will guide this class in a way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Hass mentioned? Surrendering Sunflora? Can anyone here tell what my mood was when I crafted its detached expression? I guess sad, if it's detached? Not quite. No, completely and utterly wrong. When I made that sculpture, I'd surrendered all hope. I was prepared to give up everything. I had resolved to give up my life as an artist if that piece did not receive proper recognition. Hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Hass. When I started out, I experienced many hardships. I even became deathly ill and fell into a slump that drove me into desperation. I began worrying only about what would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all of my pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then that I met Hass. He helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details. But in the end, I was able to leave all that behind. And this is also when I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable, even I did not know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now, I don't doubt that you adolescents will often find your heads crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourself and do whatever your heart desires, so long as you don't cause trouble, that is. that is all from me. I must admit, I am beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Haas. And farewell to your pupils as well. All right, well, goodbye, Brassius. Nice to see you again. Oh, Brassy, I can't believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank. Oh, he's getting emotional again. Thank you guys so much. All right, well, we'll see him in just a moment. Hello, class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. First, allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. It's okay, happened pretty often. I was so touched by Brassius' story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I'm sorry for making such a scene. I certainly got a very stern talking to from his time after that class, yes. Anyway, let us shift gears and dive into the material for today's class. Have any of you heard the 10 sites of Paldea? I have. As the name would imply, there are 10 sites in Paldea that are considered particularly beautiful. Among them, I would say that the Grand Olive Orchard is likely the most accessible. You can see the field after field of olive trees from on the hill on the way to Cortondo. 2 waterfalls are also counted among these 10 sites, Fury Falls and Casaroya Falls. Then there's the peak of Glaciato Mountain, known as Paldea's highest peak. There's another cliff on Glaciato Mountain that's named after its rather unique shape, which we were just at earlier in today's episode. So let me ask you, my students, what is the name of the 3-pronged cliff on Glaciato Mountain? No need to grasp at straws. I think Glaciato's Grasp? Exactly. It looks like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Zebra? Its 3-pronged cliff on Glaciato Mountain is in fact known as Glaciato's Grasp. Though its shape is far too stubby to be that of a human hand, I imagine someone thought it looked like a Pokemon hand grabbing something. There's also the mountains in Area 3 of the East Province, where you can get a good look at Levinskia. It's particularly gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant, it is known as the Million-Bolt Skyline. I hear it's quite a hotspot for dates, and deservedly so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it's, what do the kids say these days, a very fleek selfie spot? I don't know. Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose names. How often do we visit some tourist spots only to be disappointed? Not to say you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourself and see with them with your own eyes. And sometimes a disappointing experience can be worthwhile in its own way. Take a chance. Well, that's it for today, class. Thank you for your attention. All right, very cool. So that means we have one more lesson and then the finals. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. My, how time flies, as they say. Indeed, our time together has certainly flown by. It's hard to believe that this is our last class. Now, our topics for today may feel somewhat unrelated to art, but there is absolutely no set definition as to what art should be. Therefore, let us carry on with the discussion and see where it takes us. There are 2 things I wish to focus on today, ribbons and marks. Both ribbons and marks are special honors that capture a Pokemon's qualities. There will be times when your Pokemon gives maximum effort or has a noteworthy experience. In recognition of its feats and accomplishments, it can be given a ribbon. To give an example, if you manage to become incredibly close to a Pokemon, it may be granted the Best Friends ribbon. Incidentally, there's a person in Cascarafa who can give your Pokemon a Best Friends ribbon. Marks, on the other hand, are mostly found on wild Pokemon when you meet them for the first time. They can symbolize the character of a Pokemon, such as with the Rowdy mark or the Vigor mark. It's completely up to luck whether you'll run into a Pokemon with these marks. So if you're able to catch a Pokemon with a mark, rejoice at your astounding fortune. Does anyone know what special thing you can do with Pokemon that have ribbons or marks? I guess you can show them off? Well, yes, indeed you can show them off, but that's surely not the extent of your interest, is it? The correct answer is that Pokemon with ribbons or marks can be given titles. What's more, they can be sent into battle displaying a title of your choosing. Oh wow, cool. For example, you could send out a Gibble with the Best Friends ribbon by declaring, "Go Gibble the Great Friend." Oh, that's so cool. And while I know I just said that the marks are generally found already on Pokemon when you meet them for the first time, it seems that more recently, Pokemon can be awarded certain marks based on their efforts. There are marks such as the Gourmand mark, the Item Finder mark, the Partner mark, and so on. Perhaps it might be fun to try to work out how to get each mark using its name as a clue. Well, that just about wraps up our last class. Next is the final exam. Please review our material closely so that you pass on your first try. All right, let's go for it. I do hope you're all ready because it is time for your final exam. Focus and do your best. All right, and begin. Okay, so here's our final exam here. I hope we're ready. What is the name of the restaurant where you can change a Pokemon's Terra type? The Treasury, the Treasure Eatery, or the Treasure Trove? Yeah, it was the Treasure Eatery because that was where we fought, whatever his name, the normal type gym leader. What is the name of Brassius' signature art installation that we discussed in class? That, of course, is the Surrendering Sunflora, right over here. How many waterfalls are encountered among the 10 sites of Paldea? 2, I believe. It was 2 of them. Where can you find the Million-Volt Skyline? I think that was Levincia because that's also where I fought the electric gym leader. The marks of a Pokemon are present when you first meet and none can be added later. Well, the first part is true, but I think the second part is false. So I guess in total, the sentence is false. And that's it, time's up. That's it for today's test. Pencils down, please. Thank you all so much for learning about art with me. The time we shared has left a mark that I will treasure, I promise you. And it is my sincere wish that all of you go on to even greater, more prosperous futures. And that's that. Good work, everyone. You can receive your test results from the front desk. All right, well, there we go. And you didn't cry this time. So that's gonna be our second to last test here. I really hope it works out. We get, more positive, correct marks. It feels great to get a test out of the way. Yep, let's just see our results for now. 5 out of 5. There's 5 more experience candies for us. And of course, we will move on to our next thing. All right, so we're here with Mr. Saguaro, I think. Yep, in the home ec course. Put away your phones, it is time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I'm glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life have taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in the second half of the course as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Master Zebra, since you did quite well on your midterm exam, well, should this young man, what should they do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? You should make food more often, you should make food with other people. Arvin? Uh-oh. I cannot disclose the identity of this certain male student who enjoys the culinary arts. It may very well be Arvin, but it may not be. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you'll be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers with increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well when dealing with a difficult issue. Working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft the sandwiches in the future. Uh-oh, spilled the beans. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would not ask you that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you farewell. All right. Put away your phones, it is time to begin class. While you were out performing fieldwork with one of your Pokemon walking alongside of you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon battle, they get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I've seen many a trainer walking around their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure would not tolerate such shameful conduct. Yes, Master Zebra. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Clean it up. Perfectly correct. I knew I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you are having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I like to call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you're able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered up by soapy bubbles as you gently, carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth. Then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terra Jewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore HP and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have their parts of their bodies that they don't want scrubbed, or that they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important part that I like to mention, or I must mention, is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will contradict myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Like Grimer, I'd imagine. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you farewell. Put away your phones, it is time to begin our last class together. Home economics is a study of life's necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realized that I focused almost entirely on food. I hope it is not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, another necessity in our last class. As I'm sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one for spring, summer, fall, and winter, when the academy accepted you. If by chance you are not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As long as you wear our school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not to be school issued. This includes your bag or your hat, if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been a bit against school rules when I was a boy. Oh my, that reminds me. There's one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Our Rotom phones, for sure. Perfectly correct, that's the adorable little thing I was speaking of. Oh, it interests me so. I must admit that I'm fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Delibird Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. Thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case of my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with this small talk. As this class is known as Home Economics near its end, I offer these final words to you who've been honing your daily life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken, I would be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out and enrich your lives, even if only a little. This sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on our final exam. All right, will do. So it's our final exam, and it's also our final exam. The time has come to test how well you all have learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. Which of the following meal powers makes it easier to come across shiny Pokemon? I think the sparkling power. Which of the following is not an effective egg power? I think the second one. It helps hatch strong Pokemon? Because this Pokemon's only as strong as you make it. What is a simple yet important tactic for increasing the effectiveness of meal powers? Make food with others. What is the correct action to take when your adorable Pokemon become dirty? Pokemon wash. This is a question about Academy rules. Should you change your uniform tops and bottoms to properly match each season? It doesn't really matter. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I made the questions a little easier than I planned to, as a way of saying thank you for informing me about Rotom phone cases. I trust you all gave this exam everything you had so that you will not have to retake it. All right, please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. All right, so our final lesson. I don't know what happens now, if it's just done. Do we graduate? Do we get a nice little cap? I don't know. Be cool if there was like a ceremony or something, but I'm not really sure if there will be. It feels great to get the test out of the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. Yeah, let's see for ourselves. We got all 5 correct. That's a passing score, congratulations. And we get, of course, the experience candy rewards. You've now finished all of your classes and passed all of their exams. I have this for you from Director Clavell. You obtained 5 experience candy L. Very cool. Now you can focus all of your efforts on this year's treasure hunt. Be careful out there, which I've already completed. So now if we go back in, good morning, Master Zebra, what class we did the take, I can just revisit classes. But there we go, we've completed every class, so that's just something we don't have to worry about anymore, which is fantastic in my opinion. Glad to get that out of the way. It's cool just seeing other characters around too. Hi, can I do anything with these guys? What is this about? Hi. Oh no. God, what, Zebra? Hurry up and hide and keep it quiet, okay? I guess, oh, there's other things to activate here. This is cool, it's like a cutscene. Phew, that was close. What you doing? Yeah, you know, I'm just, guess I might as well come clean. Take a look over there. You get it now? A little context, please? Ah, sorry, your jump scare earlier completely frazzled me. My brain's still trying to reboot. All right, here's the sitch. Team Star have started coming to school again, but I don't know if they're going to fit in, okay? And it's been playing on my mind, you know? So I'm checking on them from over here. Guess we're still not exactly getting a warm welcome here, huh? Well, duh. Sure, the teachers finally figured out we're not a bunch of delinquents, but it's not like we can press a magic button to make everyone else accept us. True story, we gotta fix this, my man. Time for a change of tack. Huh? A change of tack? What are they going to start wearing? What, are they gonna start wearing normal school uniforms that they stop scaring off the other kids? Oh, Momo, Orty, they're both really trying their best to fit in here at school. A change of tack, huh? What exactly are you suggesting? But, I mean, how about we say a big friendly howdy to everyone here, like just yell it loud as we can. I don't know if that would work. What? That's stupid. Go on and embarrass yourself if you want to, but count me out. Yeah, that idea seems a bit off. Hold up, let me explain. You know Rhyme, right? She does this at our concerts, no joke. If the crowd ain't hyped at the start of the show, she'll shout the loudest scream you've ever heard into the mic, like sup y'all or whatever. Lifts the moods like nobody's business. Yeah, that makes sense, cause those are concerts. This is school, it's different. Okay, smart guy, so we're opting for the cold shoulder treatment forever then, are we? No, that'd totally stink. It would, wouldn't it? So yeah, our only option is to yell at everyone so they know we're nice. Here, I'm gonna go for it. Uh-oh. Hey, morning y'all, how we feeling today? Nobody around. Oh no, Giacomo, what are you doing? This is so embarrassing. Everyone having a good time? Come on, Ortega, you gotta do it too. Hold on a sec, you're just practicing for your DJ sets, aren't you? Thanks for coming tonight. Quick, say it. Thanks for coming tonight. Hey, what do you mean thanks for coming? We're not hosting anything. What on earth? Are those guys from Team Star? What the heck are they yelling for? Is this some kind of skit? Huh, they're pretty funny. I guess they're not as scary as I thought. No way. It's actually working. People are actually warming up to them? Why? That makes zero sense. Momo and Orty really are operating on a different level. I'm kind of amazed. Seems all my worrying was for nothing, huh? Now that's all settled, I guess I should get going. Also love V-Star. All right, well that was neat. I wasn't expecting that, so I guess there's maybe different characters to talk to trigger different cutscenes at some points. I'll do that more often, but not really what I planned on doing now. We had a jam-packed episode of catching and evolving Pokemon, as well as finishing all of our lessons. We've technically, I guess, in some ways, graduated from the school. That's amazing. So there's still plenty left to do in this game as we prepare for the DLC, but that was one step forward. I still wanna work on this Pokedex as much as I can, but for right now, that is gonna wrap it up for today's episode of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.